Around 50,000 lives could be saved in Europe each year if cities had less air pollution. It's according to a new study published in The Lancet today, and it's found a considerable proportion of premature deaths in Europe could be avoided by lowering air pollution levels recommended by the World Health Organization. Madrid topped the nitrogen dioxide ranking, where researchers calculated up to 7% of all natural deaths were caused by the air pollutants, and that's followed then by Antwerp, Turin, Paris and Milan. Well, joining us now is Mark Nieuwenhuizen, lead author and researcher at the Barcelona Institute of Global Health. Thank you very much for your time. This air pollution, what impact is it having on our bodies?
Thank you so much, Rosie, and good morning. So we know that air pollution is bad for you. I mean, it can cause premature death. We know it has an impact on your heart, on your brain. We also know that it affects the fetus. We know that if you're exposed to air pollution, also your cognitive function goes down. So there are many organs we know there are effects. For this study, we only looked at premature mortality. And what we found in the study that the 1,000 cities involved in our study could prevent 50,000 deaths per year if they would meet the WHO guidelines, but they could even prevent 200,000 deaths if they would go to lower their air pollution levels even more to the city with the lowest air pollution levels. And I think that's a very important message.
What needs to happen to lower the air pollution levels?
So that depends a little bit on which air pollutant you're talking about. So you mentioned NO2, nitrogen dioxide, where Madrid and Antwerp and Paris are topping the lead. This pollutant is particularly coming from traffic. So what we need to do is reduce motorized traffic in our city or make it much cleaner. I mean, get electric cars, for example. My preference would be in this case that we reduce car use and move to active and public transportation like walking and cycling, because besides the benefits of reducing air pollution, it would have the benefits that people get more physical activity. On the other side, if you look at the air pollutants like PM2.5, in particular matter, we had cities like Brescia, Bergamo in Italy, topping it, Karwina in Poland. This is partly due to traffic, but also through coal burning, for example, what is still quite prevalent in Poland, or industry, what you see in northern Italy. So we need to look at this particular emissions as well. And I think, what is important, like, for example, the new Green Deal that's coming into starting with the stimulus package could actually help this, because when we address the climate crisis, what is it supposed to be doing like this, we also can address our air pollution problems that we have in many of our cities.
Some of the things you've talked about are just integral to how our cities operate, the transport infrastructures that, cities have been built around. Can you see any sort of realistic, immediate things that cities could start implementing that would have a very direct impact on the health of people who live in them?
Sure, and that's what we're already seeing in cities. We've seen during the confinement and also before that, and now that more and more cities are implementing cycling lanes, what is extremely important to get people cycling. We need to get people out of the car, get them to cycle or to walk, and I think that's a really good way forward. Also, we see a lot of greening happening in cities. Cities are planting trees, and that's also important to reduce air pollution levels. But we also know that greening cities can reduce premature mortality because it reduces stress in people and improves mental health.